Communication Air.
Welcome to episode 77 of the Communication Air podcast, the community patch notes episode of leaks, video game leaks. Leaks are bad. I don't know, just leaks. Video game leaks in general.
Yeah.
And I'm excited.
Flex tape.
I'm excited. It's like the world knew that we were still talking about leaks because they leaked more stuff in the past 3 days.
I'm starting to think that Nintendo listens to this show.
I do think so. That's why they send me stuff now. 100%.
Oh, that's why?
Yeah.
Yeah. If they were listening to this show, I don't think they would be sending you stuff.
Well, anyway, we have a very special guest. Hopefully, I don't butcher his name. SaiyaRan. Did I say it right?
Yep. SaiyaRan.
Welcome.
Yep.
Is it like Super Saiyan, or is that?
Yeah, like the Great Saiyan Man, but I'm the Great SaiyaRan.
Okay.
Yeah. Like that.
Well,
Nice.
welcome. Glad you're here. Tell the people what you do.
So I'm a YouTube creator. I do long form, short form, live. You can also find me on Twitch, TikTok, Instagram, all SaiyaRan, SAIYA Ran.
You're doing a lot of Dragon Ball stuff, Sparking Zero right now.
Yes, right now that's my personal game of the year. Personally,
Okay.
no other games has just moved me, and I haven't had as much nostalgia as I've had with Sparking Zero.
I bought it and I have yet to load it up. It's just
luck.
sitting there.
That sounds like most of
interesting
Johnny's stories.
Yeah, that's true. I played
Yeah.
Metaphor a little bit and then I stopped.
I really want to play that, but I don't have, what is it, 80 hours, 100 hours? I don't think I have
Yeah.
that right now.
Well, no, I think it was. I was listening to something. I think the PlayStation Drive on Carpool Gaming, and they said it's average like 60 hours to beat.
Okay.
So it's not that bad.
I mean, still at 60 hours. Like,
I mean,
who
how many
has
hours?
time
How
for
many
that?
hours do you have in Sparking Zero right now?
Honestly, like 40. I've not put that. Like, I really only play it when I stream.
It's
and
only
then I
been
play a
2
little bit
weeks.
offline.
That's a decent amount in 2 weeks. Or
Now when it's like Spider-Man 2 when that dropped, I played that all the way through. So I had like 40 hours in that weekend. But, you know,
Nice.
okay, yeah, that's been out a year, little over a year. I have my 19 inches of Venom.
Oh, sweet. My brother does too. I'm super jealous.
So
Well,
you were saying
welcome.
before the show, like you get invited to like PAX, and you were. I mean, we'll get into it, but you were invited to Pokemon Worlds
Yep.
championships. And so,
Yep.
like,
Awesome.
how long have you been doing this?
So I've been doing content since 2020, but I really like honed in on kind of a niche or kind of like the commentary review space in 22. And then from there, actually Philly beats you. I won a trip to PAX from him during a giveaway. And that
Wow.
was my first time I went to PAX. And then from there, like, because I did such a good job, I guess, doing like live content, because I was like, I'm not going to waste this opportunity. Other like live event things, I would like just submit those videos and say, hey, this is what I've covered before. And usually they just invite me out when I applied.
Nice.
Yeah, that's awesome. Good for you, man.
Touching grass, you know.
Yeah.
I don't want to brag, but I got invited to PlayStation last week.
Oh, here we go. It wasn't supposed to be about you tonight.
I know. I felt awkward saying that.
Like in the UK or not UK?
No,
sorry,
it was out in
the-
California. Out in California.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
To preview Lego,
Yeah, Lego Horizon Adventures.
you did it.
What?
You did it. I didn't.
Yeah, I did it.
Oh, I didn't see that. You got to send me that. Like, send me that immediately because I want to see that. I haven't.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
literally
No,
watched most of
there's a
it.
video on my YouTube channel.
Okay.
It's like a 20-minute preview. I went out with N64 Josh. We were out there for like 3 days. It was a really good time.
Awesome. Yeah, send me that. I want to watch that. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
it was. I never like expected when I started making content. I never expected to do anything like that. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting journey for everyone.
Yeah. And
When-
feels
when
like it takes a
Pokemon hit me up-
while. You know.
It does. It does. When Pokemon hit me up about Hawaii, I was like super surprised. I was like, me? They're like, yeah, you. I was like, because like my biggest like Pokemon videos were like, what's wrong with Scarlet and Violet and stuff like that. Like I had done some stuff with creating a name for Vlam. I like randomly hopped into his chat on Twitch and like challenged him to like an N64 Pokemon Stadium battle.
Cool.
Like I've done stuff like that, but I hadn't like done so much Pokemon content. But they liked my live event stuff. They liked some of the Pokemon content I did, and they was like, come cover the event. And I was like, absolutely. So I hopped on
Yeah.
the flight and
I don't know if you know Darth Valdo.
Yes, yes, I know Valdo. I
know-
spent a lot of time with Valdo.
Yeah,
Valdo
no,
was awesome.
he was there, and I was a
Oh, he's at the
little
PlayStation
bit.
event?
He was at Pokemon Worlds.
Oh yeah, yeah. That we hung out at Worlds. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what I met
yeah,
him.
yeah. He's a good dude.
He's all super nice.
I was jealous when he told me that he was going there, but that's fun. That's fun. I think next year it's in San Francisco
Uh,
or
it's in
San Diego,
Anaheim?
Anaheim.
and maybe
Anaheim's like a
Anaheim. Yeah.
suburb of LA.
And then
Apparently,
San Francisco, I think,
in
the
San Fran.
following year.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
want to go, but then if I go to PAX East, and I just got tickets to Epic Universe in Florida, like
Yeah.
that's a lot of traveling.
I'm gonna max out at like 5 cons next year. Like
Oof.
DreamHack is in Atlanta, and that's like driving distance for me. So that was like that's a weekend. But like if I'm going to PAX and then going to the West Coast for Pokemon, like I'm kind of maxed out at like 5 major ones because it's a
That's
lot.
a lot. That's still a lot though. Like in a
Yeah.
year, traveling 5 cons. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
it is.
I
But
mean,
hey,
since you brought it up, like, what was Pokemon Worlds like? And like you said, like you got invited, you weren't expecting it, but then you go, and they send you to Honolulu. Also, you're there to create content, so it's like a little bit of both of like, hey, this is nice, but also I'm out here for business. Like, just
yeah.
kind of walk us through like your experience and what did you think?
So initially it was bad. I left my wallet at home. So like my physical cards and ID, I only had my passport because I just happened to have my passport in my travel book
Wow.
bag. I have
Yeah.
a book bag for travel.
Yeah.
I just happened to have my passport, but I had no cards, straight cash. My bank just happened to be on the island. I have a Navy Federal, so I like drove to like the only Navy Federal on the island. So initially it was like pretty screwy because I spent the whole first day trying to get into my hotel room. But after that, everyone was super nice. Being able to create content was super easy because they gave us our own media space, our own Wi-Fi, stuff like that. Being there with all these other creators who like were not even like they weren't stressed about it. They were like, I'm gonna record some stuff and send it to my editor back home because I have 15 million subscribers. And I'm sitting here like, dude, I gotta record, I gotta edit all of this like in
Yeah.
the media room as soon as I make the video to be like in the same loop. So it's super interesting that dynamic of seeing like I met someone who I didn't even know that they were this huge creator. We were just talking about tattoos and how moisturized their skin was. And I was like, hey, most people don't moisturize their tattoos. We were just talking about tattoo stuff.
Yeah.
And then I looked them up like 2 weeks later because I just thought about them, and I was like, oh my god, they have 18 million subscribers. So it was that dynamic, but everyone was super nice. The staff was amazing. They fed us, they actually like fed us, which is crazy. I didn't expect that. And then being on the showroom floor, being able to see everything and see just how much joy Pokemon brought to people was absolutely amazing. And Pokemon's bringing even more joy to people right now because of leaks. We'll get into that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that was a good segue.
That was a good segue.
I do want to know, like,
Uh-huh.
the TCG app. Is it
Yeah.
good?
I didn't get to preview it early.
Oh,
I got
okay.
to
Okay.
play it
So-
at the place, so the animations were cool. But I'm a super huge fan of like Marvel Snap and like Dragon Ball
Yeah.
Legends, like actual like games like that. Marvel Snap is super cool, but I like it because of the animations, but the PvP is super cool. And then Dragon Ball Legends is a card game, but it's more like action based. So to see TCG, I'm interested in see how they're gonna do it with the PvP because is it gonna be super competitive or just gonna be quick matches? It seems like it's just gonna be quick matches. So I'm interested, but I do want to like dedicate some time to it when it comes out and actually play it and like experience it. But I've seen like other people because I think New Zealand got it early or something like that.
Yeah. Yep.
I've seen people make videos on it and like make New Zealand Apple accounts just so they can download and stuff like that. But I was like, I'm not trying to do all that.
Yeah, that's too much work.
Yeah, I think it comes out next week, doesn't it?
Yeah, the 31st. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's really pretty. If they can do what Marvel Snap does and like how well their animations and things look, then it'll be fine.
Then I'm in trouble, is what that means. Because, like, I put so
Yeah.
many hours into Marvel Snap.
You might actually have to learn what a
That's great.
Pokemon is, Cheesy.
I know what a Pokemon is. I just don't know them all. There's like 1,000 of them now.
Yep.
Noob.
Yeah. Johnny, you want to do some server maintenance real quick?
Yeah, but I don't want to read the review yet because that would give away the
Okay.
question.
All right.
But we
All
did
right.
get a review, so leave a 5-star review on Apple and Spotify. We're getting close to 50 on each. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. Join the Discord. speaking of knowing Pokemon, know this guy has a really cool thing in the Discord where he puts a picture of, or he put a picture of like 10 different character like monsters, and
Yeah.
you had to put what, if it's like a Pokemon, a Temtem, a
Dragon Quest.
Pal World,
Yeah.
yeah, and a bunch of things. I thought it's a very clever quiz, and of course I'm smarter than Cheesy. I got 7 out of 10. He only got 4 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm okay
get
with
wrecked.
that. That
Get
means
wrecked.
I got 4 correct. That was 4 more than I thought.
40%'s failing, bro. 70,
I know, but I mean,
70 or 7 out of 10's a C. C's get degrees, man.
Sure do. Amen.
All right.
Yeah.
Anyway, make sure you leave reviews. They help us out a ton. But
yeah, even if they're good or bad, just leave 5 stars and we'll read it on the show. Like if you want me to embarrass Johnny, and you write a soliloquy of Johnny Ebo, yeah, I'll read it for you.
I would
Just
be
leave 5
flattered.
stars.
I would be flattered to get poetry written in for me. But to the question, and then I'll read the review. But to the question, we asked every guest, and we got another new guest this week. Which game do you prefer, Super Mario Bros. 3 or Super Mario World? If you even like them.
Probably World.
Yeah.
It's the
Why?
incorrect answer.
Just for the record, Johnny, this is another person I got on the show. So
you definitely told him.
maybe,
You're like,
maybe I
just say World.
You don't have to know anything. Just say World. Yeah, do you have a reason for it?
Yoshi. I mean, it's not really.
I
I
think
like
that's-
Mario, but like,
Yeah.
the GBA Mario's were like something I kind of pass her by. But that wasn't GBA, right? World was
It was the NES and Super
NES.
Nintendo.
Super
So
Nintendo,
3
yeah.
is on NES, and
They got remastered for it. Didn't they get remastered?
yeah,
for GBA?
I mean 3 got released so many different times.
Yeah.
It's on GBA for sure. World's
Yeah.
on GBA as well. Yeah, so they're all on there.
That's the version my brain goes. So there's no nostalgia for like the NES and there's no nostalgia there. It's just like
Yeah.
GBA. My friend handed me
GBA.
the cartridge, and that's the one I remember the most.
It's like
And it has
Super.
Yoshi. So
What is it has such a weird name. It's like Super Mario
Yeah.
Advance 4, Super
It's
Mario
terrible.
Bros. 3. It's like a really strange name.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
well, that's an
I don't really
incorrect
think of
answer.
it,
I'll write it down. But
I'll write it down. It's wrong.
yeah. So it's 13-9. World is up.
Yeah. So I mean, you did pick the right answer.
So I'll read the review now. All right. It's from Gojo J. It says Johnny Bo is right except for Super Mario World.
Wow, that is a
I
loaded
love that. I
review.
love it. I love it. I mean, I'll take the rest, but like
But there's no context of what you are right about. So, like, that
everything,
just-
everything
I
but
know.
Super
Everything
Mario World.
There you go.
that scares me. I don't know. Gojo Joe. Did I say that right? What's their name?
Gojo J.
Gojo J. Godspeed is all I have to say.
That actually does scare me if people are agreeing with everything I say. But yeah, that's the review. But we're talking about leaks.
Well, anyway, I mean,
We're talking about leaks.
yeah, and we talked a lot about leaks last week, and then kind of what Johnny was saying at the beginning of the show. Nintendo decided that they were going to have a playtest for 10,000 people to play, and also they had to sign an NDA, and also, whoops,
Maybe. I
It's
don't
on
know
the
if they had to
internet.
sign it. It was a rumor that there
wasn't
was an
it
NDA.
email? I thought there was an
Uh,
email.
I think to sign up for the playtest, it was like an NDA built in, like one of those. And then if you got in, they sent you another one. That's what I
But-
saw. I don't know.
Like so what happened is the playtest went out, like the preloading went out, and it immediately got data mined by somebody. And I think Nintendo knew. Like there's no way they didn't. Either they're super naive or it's
don't
a
think so.
it's a very smart marketing tactic.
I mean, they're so strict. Yeah, go ahead.
So, what's the playtest for? Because I haven't seen that. That's not what my timeline has been.
Oh yeah, so the playtest is a
Allegedly.
MMO.
it's
Allegedly, it's an MMO.
allegedly, yeah. I'm not gonna share screens because I don't want to get ninja'd.
I'm disinterested.
But it apparently, I don't know. I think it's like an MMO where you build up the world. People are saying it's kind of like Miiverse 2.0.
Minecraft?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
it does
kind
kind of
of.
look like it. They're a little like caveman guy.
I think. Okay, I'm not gonna get ahead of myself, but there's a
No,
leak.
go ahead. Go ahead.
There's a Pokemon leak that came out about them working on MMO, but scrapped it for some type of game where you like ride the mons, and then you can like you're supposed to like tame the mons you ride, something like that. It's a bunch of stuff like that, but it was like if they when they went through kind of the timeline, it seemed like they were working on MMO like before Arceus. So it's interesting that Nintendo's now working on MMO, but also I'm not that interested in that. So
Yeah, I'll
cool.
be
I'm glad I
interested.
get into playtest.
I wonder what it's when it actually like the playtest. I think starts tomorrow officially, so we'll probably get more information then. I'm not in it. Cheesy's not in it. I think Crawler is in it.
Yeah.
What is
It's
your
kind
opinion
of
on everybody whining about the fact that it's only 10,000 people?
I think it's ridiculous. All right, I think Nintendo is
Minor.
ridiculous
Complainer.
because
Look out.
so that's 10,000.
Playtest.
There's 10. Or it's 10,000
Playtest.
people. It's 10,000 people.
It is a playtest.
out of
It's not the actual game.
130 million Nintendo Switch users.
143 million.
Yeah. Well, it's like 0.007% of.
It's a playtest.
But I want to play it. All right.
there. It is.
I've
That's why he's
been
upset.
shilling. I've been
Exactly.
shilling for them for 35 years. I deserve to be in this playtest.
Well, you should have clicked that button faster or slower, depending on how the network went. But
I think
genuinely-
I think it's interesting that it's not what anybody expected, and that's kind of like Nintendo's thing. Like everybody's
It's
like,
very
"Oh,
Nintendo."
it's GameCube. Oh, it's I don't know, cloud gaming. It's
why would we need to playtest GameCube? Like,
I don't know, online melee maybe."
no. It's Nintendo. At the end of the day, let's reel it back in. Expectations were here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I mean-
think it's funny that people complain about it. Though. I was like, 10K. What do you think is high or low? It's a playtest. You're gonna eventually get it. Like, ooh, you didn't get it a year early or whatever.
Well, even if it is a playtest right now for 10K, like maybe next month, they open it up to more people, or I don't know. I mean, like,
well, if
maybe
it
they
is
have
like if it is an MMO that
yeah,
you need like it's probably going to be free or part of NSO.
yeah,
Probably, I expect part of NSO before I expect free.
Because you
To be
had to be
honest.
an expansion member to even apply. So it'd probably be like an expansion pack exclusive game. So you're still looking at like millions of people that will probably try to play this, and you're only going to test it on 10,000.
Yes,
don't
because
know.
it's a test.
I don't know. Nintendo doesn't have the best track record with online play, so they should stress test
That's why it's
as
10K.
much as they
Nope.
can.
It is some solemn guy, and he's got this sandbox up, and it's just him and maybe another guy, and they are just these 10K people are hitting this thing, and he's just praying to God it doesn't explode.
It's just like a potato, just a potato.
A 10-year-old server, and they said, "Hey, go crazy with this. This is all you get." And then when it actually launches, it's going to be on 6-year-old servers. Like, let's be honest.
I guess kind of going back to what Johnny was saying though, is like, is Nintendo naive for doing this? No, I don't think so. They are so strict when it comes to like their ambassador program, and they decided that they were just going to let 10,000 random people playtest something and then sign an NDA where they weren't going to leak it. Like, it's crazy. It sounds like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, where it's like Nintendo gives you this gobstopper and they're like, oh, what are you going to do with it? And then everyone just like leaked it online. And then the only person who doesn't leak it is just going to own Nintendo one day.
Man, now I really wish I got in. If that's how it works.
But I mean, that was just one of the leaks. Obviously, we have you here talking about Pokemon leaks. I mean, leaks in general, like we discussed how, it sucks when things leak, but also it does seem like a marketing thing where people do leak things on purpose. We had someone in the Discord, Jeff Troyvania, who was talking about how Google would just leave phones in bars, like their new phones, just for people to find them, and they were leaked. And that all was like a stunt. So when it comes to the Pokemon leaks, I guess, what were your thoughts on everything that happened?
So when I saw the leak, I said, "Oh crap," because I think it was a terabyte, maybe a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
But when we're talking about Nintendo file sizes, we're talking about images, pictures, audio, gameplay. That's a lot of stuff because those files aren't that huge on the Nintendo Switch as it is, and you got a terabyte of that leaking. So I thought this is going to be crazy. I had no idea it was going to be all the things we have seen. So the guy who leaked it, he started with like gens 1 through 3 and started leaking that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. It was like concept mons. It was like, I think he released like some source code, things like that. I was like, cool. When he got through like gens 4, 5, and 6, I was like, the internet's gonna have a field day because they had like what they wanted Lilikki to actually look like, which is like way cooler than what Lilikki actually looks like. They had like some megas they had thought that they wanted in the game, but like ended up scrapping. I'm hoping to use that for Legends ZA. It was just like super interesting to see this happen, and then like the way it happened. I think it was a phishing. It wasn't like someone actually like hacked them. Somebody just like attempted to phish someone, and like some executive fell for it, and he happened to have access to all this stuff. And that guy got it all before he got caught, or before he got kicked out. I should say he hasn't been caught yet.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just super interesting to see kind of like how this guy was releasing it, because like releasing it in like generation order was kind of crazy. That means he sat on it and like organized it. So it's kind of like some mastermind type stuff. I was like, okay, that's pretty impressive. I like what I'm seeing, but at the end of the day, it's leaks. I can't do anything. I'm not gonna take the source code from Sword and Shield and like go make my own fan game. I'm not doing that. I'll play one, but I'm not gonna like make it. So it's like, eh.
Yeah. So I mean, it's interesting hearing you talk about it because like when something leaks on the internet, does it affect you at all? Like, are you upset that things got leaked, or is it just like kind of what you said? It's out of my control, but it's the information
I
is there.
lived through the Marvel MCU era where like
Uh-huh. Yep.
you had to see the movie day one in theaters,
Yeah.
or else when Tony Stark died, I
Ah,
literally
come on, man. There's still
right?
people that have not seen it.
8 years ago, cheesy.
Is that what it was? 8 years ago?
No, 6 years.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it
It was 2018? I think it was 2018.
18. It was 18.
Yeah, so 6 years.
I
Sorry.
saw it in theaters at like 11 p.m.
Wow.
I
Okay.
think. So, like,
Yeah,
I actually had a flight to catch that next morning, but I was like, I got to see this movie before I get on this flight.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's the world I lived in. So like when I see leaks now, I'm like, I can really avoid this. I really don't care as much, but it doesn't really affect me personally. I remember last year when Somniac got hit and everybody was boohoo crying about that. I was like, shut up. Y'all cover leaks all the time. Shut up. Stop that. I don't like
Yeah,
that.
we had said that people are upset about personal information getting leaked, which is
That's
terrible.
bad. That's always
Um,
bad. Yeah.
But then they go on and talk about the leaks anyway. They're like, oh, this is a really bad leak, but here's
Here's everything that was in it.
Here's
Yeah.
everything that's in the leaks. Which
Yeah.
I mean, I enjoyed seeing the Pokemon game related stuff, like the stuff that came out recently with that. It's like an online battle game that was.
Yeah, all a metal sim type thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that looks cool. Like I hope that comes out. You get to ride on like Garchomp's head and
Yeah.
I think Electivire. Like, you got to ride on Pokemon, and it kind of looks like you can do that in Pal World, can't you? Or
Yeah. You can
so
put some
I-
hours into Power World. It's a fun game.
it would be pretty funny if they sue Power World and then they steal one of their concepts from.
Yeah, because we still
be
don't know
bad.
what that lawsuit is, right?
I think it's because they in Power you can take a ball shaped item and throw it at something and catch it inside the ball. They patent that game mechanic.
Ooh.
Just like
I mean, that sounds.
Nintendo patented something from Tears of the Kingdom. I forgot what it was. Something with an arrow, like the actual arrow, like not like an arrow, like the actual like shape. They patent something. People are like, that's weird. How can they patent a game mechanic? But you can.
Yeah,
I think
it would
Pokemon
actually would have
is
been better
can
if
capture
they.
things in a ball.
Yeah, it would have been better if they went after them for like the designs, because if they go after, since they're going after them for like a specific mechanic, that means like if they win, there's going to be precedent, and no other game is going to be able to use that mechanic.
Yeah.
But if it was just the monster designs, like people could get
No.
around that.
Because I mean, even Koromon, which is an amazing indie game, there is a cube shaped. That's how you catch the Koromons, and it's like or Tetra. I think they call them Tetra balls, Tetra somethings, and it like has three little. It has like a triangle that spins and it catches them. So it's like other games have actually not used balls. But also if we talk about the mons, like there are a lot of mons of Koromon. I love the game. They look a lot like. There's one that looks just like Sharpedo. It's like a starter. There's one that looks just like what's the cub, the little bear with a snot sickle? That guy. Like the design.
Yeah, Cheesy, what's that? What's that one's name?
Hey, I was waiting on you because you got the 70%, right?
I think it's like Cubsicle or something.
Ice
No,
cub.
no way to know.
Let's see.
Yeah, there's no way to know.
I mean,
Chew.
what is it?
Cub chew, like I chew,
Chew,
but cub
yeah.
chew. Not
Yeah.
cum, like a cup.
But yeah, I mean, it seems like it's easier and easier to leak things because like what you were saying with Marvel and the MCU, like you had to go see it day one, so
Mhm.
nothing got ruined for you. But like
Yep.
in video games, it seems like things are getting ruined before they're even out.
Yeah, you have time zones when games are released. You have just people having access to the game. You have the digital side of it, which is easier to contain some things, but also it's harder because I think Amazon was not allowed to send like Nintendo stuff. Like they have to like delay it or something like that because it kept sending stuff early. Because like I think I got like my Bayonetta 3 late, but I had friends who got theirs like 2 days early, and I was so jealous. I wanted to play Bayonetta 3. So I think it's just super hard to manage it all.
Yeah.
And especially because Nintendo, if the first 25 million Switches had that glitch in it, or it's 25 million, I think, had that glitch in it where you can like stick a paperclip in it and like dump the entire game online. So, that's not helping the case.
Well,
Yeah.
Brothership just got dumped. Like it's
just
fully on the.
It's online.
It's online now. You know what I think they
Immediately.
should do when this happens, because it happens every game. Every game, I don't know, they just don't know how to prevent it. But if once it gets leaked, they should just release it to the public. Like it should just come out. Like why? It's usually only a week.
You are so dramatic. You're so dramatic. It's like, I love
But,
it.
you know what?
Welcome
All
to
right,
my
you wanna-
world.
You know what I want to do? You know what I do? I'm sure there's people streaming it on TikTok right now. I report every single person that streams an unreleased game. All right?
That's fair.
I don't know if they get banned, but I definitely report them.
I'm gonna go on Twitch right now and see if I can find somebody playing Brothership.
It's probably under Mario and Luigi, like the
Oh yeah, whatever.
partners in time or whatever. But
Like
there's
DS?
This guy's playing every one leading all the way up to it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, good luck to him. He looks very tired because he's playing it nonstop.
I thought, yeah, so that leaked, and some people I don't know, they take leaks way too seriously. Like, oh, the inside of the case leaked. Look at the inside of the case.
Yeah, I don't care that much about stuff like that. I don't know. I think the issue is that everybody wants to be first for the clout.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Like, cool, do your thing, but also, like, you're ruining it for the people who care about it. Like me, when people like Spark and Zero stuff leaked, I was like, give me that. Like, I want to see it. But also, whatever leaked in Spark and Zero was like the most common stuff. It was like, these are the characters. I was like, you mean every character that's been in DBZ or DBZ, DB Super? Like, you mean all those characters? Like, oh wow. Like when the
Man, what
Diamond character leaked, I was like, oh, I had no idea the brand new character from their brand new series that released the same day as the game was going to be in the game. Oh, who would have thunk? So sometimes leaks are like commonsensical, but Nintendo leaks are always a little bit like, huh, what a cool idea they would have had. That's usually what a Nintendo leak is like.
Yeah. But sometimes it helps, right? Like, oh, now I'm thinking about Mario plus Rabbids. Like, how
Mhm.
crazy was that leak? And we're all like, there's no way this is
There's
real.
no, it's true. Yeah.
But then at the same time, you're like, well, I kind of hope it shows up at E3 because I need to see this be real. And then there it was. And honestly, I think that leak probably helped it more than if it was shown at E3.
Yeah, because everybody was anticipating it. It was like a hype moment, and everybody was like,
Yeah.
"This boy, this is real." And then when it came out to be like what it was like, okay. Oh look, I found a brothership stream
Oh, did you?
On Twitch?
on TikTok.
Oh,
No,
on
on
TikTok.
TikTok,
Yeah,
easily.
yeah. TikTok has like no. People are always upset about getting banned on TikTok easily, but they have like no moderation whatsoever. The way people get banned is by like viewers mass reporting them.
Yeah,
Other than that, like it's pretty much the Wild West. Anything goes.
that's so crazy. I like easily like I wasn't even looking for that. It was just like, nope.
Yeah, because when Echoes of Wisdom leaked, like I was just scrolling TikTok and I came across at least like 4 or 5 streams of Echoes of Wisdom. Reported them all. Those dang pirates. The thing is, like, yeah, I know people try to do it to get clout, but when I like if you went into that stream, there's probably only 10, 15 people watching. Like it's not
75.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's nothing to
Laugh at.
but like 10, like risking your account for 10, 15, even 75 people, like, is it worth it?
Yep.
It's not worth it
No.
because people aren't going to remember you once
Not
the
at
game
all.
comes out.
And you have to like and that if your fan base or whatever is built on that, you have to continuously like that's why I don't cover leaks of like the Switch 2 stuff because like I don't want to continue to like have to like build up on that. If I drop a video about the Switch 2 and a leak from the Switch 2 and I get 100, 200 subscribers, that's now 100, 200 people that will only click on my stuff if it's like Switch 2 leaks. I'm not covering that. I don't care that much. Like it comes out when it comes out, it comes out. They should have been announced by now. I wish it would have got announced when the OLED got announced, but whatever. You know,
You're being dramatic.
It is what it is. I am because I was ready to pre-order the OLED because I was just so sure it was gonna be Switch Pro.
Yeah, I mean, it is interesting when you think about like the people that do cover leaked content because I mean, I think we know a couple of people that do that and like, you know, they're making bank doing it and no matter like
It's
what
so short-sighted. It's so short-sighted.
I know, but what I'm saying
It
is like it doesn't matter what you said last week because this week there's something new. So like it doesn't you're making so much content that the other content that you have made is just piled under whatever else is coming up.
Yeah, like there are definitely accounts that I know that just cover Switch 2 leaks like every day. Like what happens when the Switch 2 is actually out? Like, those people aren't going to really care about
I'm not
because they're just going to get
because everything you're saying is or isn't true, and I will figure out for myself.
Yeah.
You know.
But I guess everybody
Now,
wants
if you're
their
looking
15
at-
minutes.
Oh, of course.
And
if
it's-
you were covering something like the history of Nintendo, that's something that I'm going to go back and probably watch multiple times.
Yeah.
'Cause it's super cool to look at. But if
Yeah.
you're telling me about this, hey, this might be a thing. It might be in development. It might. I don't care much.
Well, it's easy content, right? Like
Yeah,
it's
100%.
easy to just throw up a video about rumors, as opposed to making a video like History of Nintendo that would take research and time to produce.
Yeah, and content like that is evergreen.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it
that's
is.
never gonna go away.
Yeah, but hey, I mean, it is what it is. I think that the leak situation for Nintendo, or excuse me, for Pokemon, is also being looked at kind of dramatic because a lot of people are saying things like, "Oh, they're going to cancel the games because you guys are watching these leaks." I'm like, no one is canceling a 10, 20,
Yeah.
30, 40, $50 million budgeted game
Yeah.
because a very small niche of nerds online was like, "Hey, this looks cool." No, no one's canceling a game for that. The average person doesn't even know the leak exists. You go ask the average Pokemon fan, they're like, "What?"
That's
Like,
true. I guess
what?
sometimes I do forget that like we're in a bubble
We're in a
because
bubble,
that
man.
we're just in the gaming community, but like there are people that have no idea that this is even a thing.
I mean, the majority of Pokemon players don't care that it runs at like sub 30 and looks like dog doo doo.
Hey, you
Like,
leave Scarlet Violet out of this.
I actually really enjoyed Scarlet and Violet. I think it does get a bad rap. Like, yeah, it doesn't look amazing and it doesn't run great, but I enjoyed it. I put like over 100 hours into it.
I mean, I did too, but also it was a very rough 100 hours. It was so when Scarlet Violet came out, that was the same year that God of War Ragnarok came out. But I think Scarlet and Violet came out before, or I played Scarlet and Violet before. I can't remember how I did it, but like God of War Ragnarok was like running at 1080p, 120 frames on my PS5. Like I could run it at 4K. I think I could do 4K 30, maybe 4K 60, or like a checkerboard at 4K 60. Like I had all these different resolution options. It was just like this is what I wanted in this console generation, is like games that I had the option to run at like HD and 120 frames, or like 4K 60, like a dynamic 4K, whatever. And then I had to play Pokemon, and I was just like,
I
why is this ball floating in the air, falling
I
through the floor? It was
I
just
completely agree. I mean, I think the Switch in general needs, like, it's so far behind the times now. Like, I was playing
I'm
some
not gonna
Echoes of
blame the Switch for that.
I'm on the same page with you because like you look at Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, like
But no, they still feel dated. All right, they still, like, Echoes of Wisdom
oh
feels dated.
god,
They
Echo
do.
wasn't feels dated because it looks like a top down Zelda game, so it looks
It also
dated
runs
because
at like
is it
20
run at 30? Was it run
FPS. It's not locked. It's supposed to be at 60, but it fluctuates so much. But like when you play a game on PS5, you're like, "Oh, this is how games should feel
Yeah. Well,
for
yeah,
the most
yeah.
part."
Astrobot's a good example of that.
Like 60 stable 60 FPS, 4K 1080, like that's what games should be. Not Pokemon Scarlet and Violet or any
Yeah.
Nintendo games right now. Like,
Or
so, all right, inside baseball, like I played Lego Horizon, and they told us not to share.
oh did you play Lego
Well, hold on,
Horizon?
no, they told us not to share screenshots of the Switch version.
Oh really?
Yeah,
how did it look?
I don't know. I honestly I didn't look, but on the
You turned your eyes.
PS5, on the screen we played on, oh, gorgeous.
Yeah, I watched
Yeah.
your video and I was like, this game looks awesome. Looks
Like
really good.
it looks
I
way
don't
better than any other Lego game.
I don't know how it's gonna run on Switch.
I want it on the Switch because I'm curious, but like I also am
For the
like
memes.
over. Yeah, I'm over like 30 FPS, like that type. Like I literally, this is my last time buying consoles per se, but like when people ask me where I want to play the game, like is it on PC? Like I'm more and more saying PC, and if it's not on PC, then I'm asking for a PS5 key or something. But like I'm shifting more towards PC gaming in general. So
Mhm.
I don't know if I feel like staring at a 30 FPS Lego game because I'm gonna have to finish it because there's no way I'm gonna spend a cool 60. It's 60. It's gonna be 60, right?
I think it's 60. I think so.
No, I'm gonna spend a cool 60 and not finish it. I'm gonna be pretty upset with myself if I do that.
Oh, so you finish games?
uh,
You don't have a big backlog?
that is a good question.
And there is an
Great
answer.
There is an answer. It depends on the game. Some games I fall in love with and I'll finish. Some games are just, it's not necessarily at the top of my list. Like Wukong, I enjoy Wukong for what it was. I have a video that I have to edit about it still. But like finishing it wasn't at the top of my list because I got the gist of it. But games like Sparking Zero, just fell in love with it, so I started playing it. You know, the story. There's not really a way to 100%. You can 100%. There's a platinum, whatever. But I'm not doing that. I'm just, even with Astrobot, like I play Astrobot and I really enjoyed Astrobot, but I still haven't finished it. I'm more interested in finishing Plucky Squire, which is the indie game that came out around the same time, same week maybe.
It was
I
like,
don't know if
yeah,
you
it
guys
was
saw
like
it,
the
so when you
week
jump
of.
to the book. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you play
I'm
that
waiting-
on
I was waiting
Switch?
to-
That is rough on the Switch.
No, I saw you complain about it. I got it on PS5
Yeah.
because it was on
Yeah,
PS. It was on PS Plus Extra, and I said, let me just get it there, and I could
Yeah, I
PS4
get-
if I want to do handheld.
I get like most things on Switch just because branding
Makes sense.
and
Yeah.
memes. But it's rough on Switch. It's rough.
I think you and Smarpy were like on my timeline, like screaming about it. Like this sucks.
I know Cheesy feels the same way.
It was rough. I think I also was kind of disappointed by Plucky Squire. Like it's a cool game, but I think I was expecting it to be a little more than what it was. But yeah, on Switch it's
Do you
Well,
play
what?
indie games?
yeah,
Just
yeah, I
kidding.
play indie games. Yeah.
Okay, I just wonder.
I love
well,
indie
I mean,
games.
it was like
My
a
game
cool
of the year
indie
is an
game to
indie
like
game.
I think mine is too actually.
What are they? Am I allowed to know?
Mine's Balatro.
Let me get this. You know what? I can get it on my cell phone because it's on Apple Arcade. Let
Oh,
me
I
just go
got
ahead
it.
and
I
get
bought it 4 times so far. I'm supporting indie devs
Are you serious?
100%.
And then
Brother,
mine
you
is Animal Well.
Animal? Okay, I still haven't played it.
It's
I don't know
good.
why people like it that much.
I think it's just because it's like the sense of discovery. Like they don't tell you what to do at all. You're playing as this weird blob, and as the game's going on, like it's got kind of a odd, dark feel to it. And there's like kind of puzzles that you have to do in each area. But again, like maybe it's just an animal, or maybe there is a puzzle attached to it. Like there's just a lot to discover in that game, and it's a Metroidvania. So like the first item that I found anyway was like a yo-yo. I don't know what to do with a yo-yo, but you figure it out, you know?
Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
I just downloaded Balatro. I will play it in bed or something.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
We were talking about card games earlier, so
So, another thing for Cheesy to check out next week, Vampire Survivors is getting a Castlevania update. It's about time. I can't wait. But other than that, I want to get back on topic. Last week we talked about getting these spam calls and texts, and I got one. Well, like I just got one live on air. First
Just
of
now?
all, yeah. First of all, they texted me a picture of some random person, like just some
Whoa.
random person.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So the text says, "Hi, Mary." My name's not Mary.
Uh-huh.
My
Yes, it
name is Danny, and I am a former Trump voter. I won't read the whole thing, but it's like, why are you texting me?
That is interesting. Yeah, I haven't gotten like one of those or with like a picture attached to it. But like I was telling you last week, sometimes I get phone calls that's like, hey, you haven't talked to me in a while. Is everything okay? Or hey, are we still meeting up for lunch? And like I get those kind of texts all the time.
Yeah, it's I get the political ones all the time.
I get some of those. I used to get them a lot more often. My phone number used to be associated with a Google business.
Oh,
he was a
okay.
plumber. So I used to get like all the Google business ones. I used to get people calling me, asking me to unclog their drains. It was I don't know how I just picked up this number. And this is like when I was a kid. I've had the same number since the 7th grade. I just picked up this number in the 7th grade, and now I'm a plumber.
That's
Mario.
amazing. Good for
You
you,
should-
man.
You should have messed with them and be like, "Yeah, I'll be right over there. I'll need your toilet fixed."
I just wanted to stop, you know?
So, do you think leaks are getting worse? Like, do you think they're happening more often than they usually do?
I think because so many people have built their like brand on leaks,
Mhm.
that yes, more they're more it's kind of like the celebrity gossip pages, you know? Like I
Yeah.
don't really care what so and so had for breakfast, but because this page with, 1 million followers posted it and people are like liking it or not, it's gonna get thrown into your algorithm. I think it's more of that because I don't really know if many people are looking for leaks. Like most people about to switch to and stuff are just like we just wanted to drop already.
Mhm.
With the Pokemon stuff, I will sometimes go back to the page that was mainly posting it, but I'm not like looking for it all day every day. So I think most people aren't looking for those leaks. It's just being pushed in our face because it is easy content and it's like people are gonna respond to it or click like or retweet or whatever. So it's gonna get pushed to our algorithms. But I don't know.
Yeah.
It's people are definitely looking for it more, but I don't think it's necessarily like these big leaks are happening because some of the stuff that gets leaked is like nothing burgers. Like I don't care, like no one cares
Mhm.
really. It's just because it actually leaked and we used the word leaked, it got pushed in the algorithm, not because the content of what actually leaked was entertaining.
Yeah, like I remember. Well, when the playtesting leaked, man, my whole YouTube feed was people with all those reaction faces with the giant leak next to their name,
Yeah.
next to them, and I wonder if they got copyright stri Like, did they get taken down? Because I thought Nintendo was going after these things.
The Central Leaks guy, if you go on his page, a lot of things are gone.
Oh, really?
The text isn't, but the image is. So he like has text and he has like translations and things like that. So that isn't gone, but the actual images are. But they said like yesterday, or day before, hey, um, download these if you want them because they're gonna get taken down. But they also just tweeted maybe 13 hours ago. Most of the images in our tweets will be deleted periodically each day. To access the images, add an archive with downloads to most. To access the images and an archive with downloads of most leaks so far, please check out our archive. So they have like an archive of all the tweets and leaks and things like that. That I guess Nintendo can't go after. Whatever.
It's like it's all like I want to know how they go after these things. Like it's on the internet now. Like
Yeah.
it's out there.
So if
So
it's hosted on a website like Twitter, Twitter still has to adhere to DMCA. So Nintendo's like, hey, take that down. I've got DMCA on Twitter. I don't know if you guys know this, but you can get DMCA on Twitter. Sony Music Group, I think, yeah, SMG, yeah. Sony
Mhm.
Music Group. I had like a Future song or something like that on a video of me like getting dressed or something I posted like years ago. And
Mhm.
Sony for some reason DMCA'd me. And I was like, what? It was so random. So they do have to adhere to DMCA. It's just with Twitter, like those requests like kind of rarely get through. When it's something like this with Nintendo or a huge leak like that, like even when Multiverses got leaked or whatever, Warner Brothers was quick to get in touch and get that stuff taken down. But usually, like no one cares because it's such an open forum. But technically every single site that allows people to post user generated content has to adhere to DMCA. It's just like whether or not the company puts in the complaint or whatever, and if like Twitter and all their infinite Elon Musk wisdom fixes it or responds to it soon enough. So I
yeah,
think
I think
Nintendo's
I
just like
did.
bully enough to get people to take it down.
I think I did get DMCA'd for a video from like years ago. Like it wasn't
Yeah, it's so
even
weird.
like a recent video. It was just probably something I uploaded straight from TikTok that had like a sound on it, and then they just DMCA'd it.
I know what it was. It was when TikTok and Universal
Universal.
were going back and
Yeah.
forth about, and I guess they just didn't want the music on anything that wasn't Apple Music or Spotify or whatever. So I guess that's what it was.
Yeah,
Yeah. I don't know. It's It's just weird because, like you said, like maybe it's not as big as what we think it is, but it does. Just because we're in that circle, it does seem like it happens more often than not. I mean, last week we were talking about the Pokemon League. This week we're talking about the playtest. And like again, Nintendo had to have known, right? Like it reminds me of Switch Sports when they had the demo. I don't know if you guys remember this, but they were like, "Do not share or
Oh yeah,
stream."
yeah. You were supposed to share gameplay of it. What the heck?
Yeah, yeah.
I want to
Yeah.
play that game again. I need to do the basketball update.
Oh, it's fun. I actually
Is it?
do. Yeah, I played with Uncle Jeeb like a couple months ago. We played some basketball, and man, it's fun. Like that game is underrated. I
I think
wish
so
it.
too.
I wish it got more. I wish it got baseball. I wish it got
Yeah.
boxing. Like I wish it had all the original sports.
Is it done? Do you think there
Oh, I
could be
mean,
more?
Switch Sports is done. We're probably
I
gonna get
don't know, man.
Switch 2 Sports.
Yeah, maybe.
I think they're
Basketball
done
came
like
out
putting
super late
content
though.
into it.
I mean, it sold like 12
Um,
million copies or
yeah, it
something.
still sold a lot though. Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
what my
basketball is fun if you have someone who knows how to pass. Otherwise, like
oh,
if
you
you
don't
pass to
pass.
them,
You don't
they're
pass.
just gonna shoot.
So Nintendo Switch Sports got a 72 on Metacritic and then a user score of 5.9, but
Ooh.
still sold or dunkless amount. Let's see what actually.
Yeah, I think it sold around
Because
12, 13 million. It's not in the top 10, but it's near it. It's my nephew's 8. I think he's 8 years old, and it's like his favorite game. Whenever when
13 million copies as of March 31st. Holy
Jeez.
fudge. A 72, 13 million copies. 'Cause
look
it
up
wasn't a
look
50,
up
it was
one
50
two
bucks
look
back
up
then.
1-2 Switch and then be really shocked. I mean, that didn't sell 13 million, but it sold way more
For
than
what
it
the
should
game
have.
is.
Yeah, it sold way more than what it should have.
3.74 million, baby.
More than Metroid Dread. More
All right.
than
Let's calm that down. Metroid Dread was a masterpiece. I replay Metroid Dread every
was.
year.
Speaking of
Such a good game.
Metroidvanias and yeah, Metroidvanias, the Prince of Persia
Ah,
team
man.
got
Bring me to that.
disbanded,
Yeah.
and unfortunately, like it's not surprising
Yeah.
because people aren't excited for 2D Metroidvanias. They're just not.
I'm gonna disagree because Animal Well, a lot of people like the game.
Yeah,
I
but
think that
how many copies did it sell? Like that's like I understand that it's
true.
that and it's an indie game, so it probably didn't sell that many copies. But I know Hollow Knight is another one that people are saying, Hollow Knight and Silk Song, but it's like
I don't care about Six Song. Get that out of here.
it's not real. It's not even real.
500,000 units is what Animal Well sold.
Yeah, exactly. Like Ubisoft's not looking for a 500,000 seller. They're looking for a 5-6 million seller.
They weren't getting that out of that Prince of Persia game.
No, I know.
Um,
That's why they disbanded the team. It's unfortunate, but it's why.
I don't know. I really liked the Lost Crown. I covered it. And this may sound narcissistic, but I feel bad when I like a game and I cover it and like my video doesn't do super 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 well because like I actually like this game. And then like the team gets disbanded. I was like, man, I could have saved it, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But it did 15 million in revenue. That's what says Prince of Persia. 15 million in revenue accumulated around 300,000 players. So I guess that's 300,000 sales.
Yeah, that's pretty rough
I think
for a
I, thi-
AAA game.
I don't know. Because I like the game. I don't think there's anything I would have done differently. It was a little bit longer. It's like 30 hours. I would have maybe made it a little bit shorter for the average Joe to get into. Also, I would have done a launch everywhere. I would have launched on PlayStation, Switch, and Steam. They launched on Ubisoft launcher. No one wants to use that thing.
Yeah.
And then they had. I get what they're trying to do because they sent me a copy. I'm a Ubisoft creator. They sent me a Steam
Me
copy. And it's like,
too.
we're gonna push it. Do another Steam push. I get this kind of like their mentality, but it's also like just release it day one on Steam. Stop
Yeah.
making PC players
Yeah.
because PC players are gonna spend their money regardless. Just make sure they spend it on your game as soon as possible. That's it. So it was just a super interesting situation, but I do feel for those, and I am upset about it just a little bit. Usually I'm not like, oh, I'm so mad, and I want those crusaders on Twitter. But with this particular game, it just felt like they put a lot of love into it, from
Yeah.
the story to the fights. Like the game was just fun. Like I had fun playing the game, and there's not a lot of games nowadays where I'm having fun playing the game. Usually I'm just like, this is a cool story, but it's not like fun, or this is a cool whatever, but it's not like fun. It was just fun to play. So I'm sad.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think that game is really good. But yeah, unfortunately, I still think
Yeah.
Metroidvanias, 2D Metroidvanias are not. Like, I'll be really interested to see what Metroid Prime 4 does.
I
Because
Well,
wonder.
Prime 4 is gonna be, it's gonna be FPS, so it's gonna do
maybe,
better.
maybe. I think Metroid Dread is the best selling Metroid game ever, right?
Yeah, Prime
Didn't something
Remaster
so
didn't.
didn't something sell 5 million?
Remaster didn't do well.
Yeah. Dread sold
Uh,
like 3 million, around 3 million. I think the second most one is Metroid Prime, the original on GameCube. That's around 3 million.
yes. What we have definitive numbers for is 2.84 million Metroid Prime, but we know that Dread sold over 3 million. I don't know why they won't give us the numbers. Did they give us the official? They haven't given us official numbers, right?
Well, I think they did like the first quarter that it
First two,
sold,
two
and
quarters, I
then
think. But
it. But yeah, I mean, I love Metroid. I think they're fantastic games. Like Metroid Prime and Metroid Prime Remastered, I think is a masterpiece. But it just they don't sell, and I don't understand. I don't understand why. And it's because
Well, I think
it's scanning.
I.
Nobody wants to scan.
Oh, you're just talking about Prime.
Yeah.
nobody wants to scan. Shut up.
First person
Johnny
scanners.
just doesn't like. Johnny just
He
doesn't
just
like to
said stuff.
read. So
I don't
I
like
just
reading.
said stuff.
But
I
like
think
that's the whole
just
point of
with
that game is
Metroidvanias-
scanning.
No, that's not the whole point of the game. Did you play 1 or 2 or 3 at all?
Yes, and I just remember scanning.
Eh.
I think just Metroidvanias, I love them. I think they're so unique, and I think to
Mhm.
develop a game where you're like, okay, I have to think about how the player is going to play this game. They're obviously going to get lost, but we still need them to go in the right direction to find this item, this ability that helps them get through the rest of the game. It's got to be incredibly tough to like figure out. But I also think the player might not like the idea of getting lost and then backtracking and then like, oh, okay, I have this item, but I don't really know what to do with it. Like,
Mhm.
I mean, honestly, it's a lot of thinking power, and maybe that's just not what people want. I don't know.
Yeah, I can see that. I think that people just, first of all, Prince of Persia fans weren't looking for a 2D Metroidvania
Yeah.
Prince of Persia. When I saw that as me as a fan of Metroidvanias, I was like, this is gonna be awesome. Action based. I love Metroid Dread. I love Metroidvanias. So for me, that fan, I thought that was cool.
Mhm.
But then you have people who know nothing about Prince of Persia, but like heard the name, was like, don't want to hop into it. But it's like this is a standalone story. It's not connected, or maybe it is connected. I don't know. I don't know because I've never played Prince of Persia. Besides, this is my first Prince of Persia. So you have those people. You have people who looked at it and said immediately that it was 2D and that's not what they wanted. The graphics weren't like super. They were cool, but they weren't like super, impressive. So I think just a combination of things led to poor sales, but I don't think I think that you have games like Assassin's Creed Mirage, which I played, I reviewed, I didn't like that much, and they get another chance. That team gets another chance, but like this Prince of Persia game, which generally was a game that reviewed well, maybe didn't sell as well, but it reviewed well. They deserve that second chance, and that's kind of when I get kind of annoyed by that. It's like they deserved that because Assassin's Creed Mirage scored 10 points lower than Prince of Persia, and probably had like 3 times the budget. If we're gonna be honest, so I don't know. It's kind of just super unfortunate.
Yeah, I guess I wonder what the next leak will be. You did bring up Assassin's Creed, and I think like will Shadows get leaked before it comes out just because of
If it
how
comes
upset
out,
people. Well, that
No,
too,
it
but
will come
like
out. It definitely will come out.
uh
That's a crazy say if on that. No, it's gonna
well, I
definitely.
don't know. They just like changed how the Ultimate Edition works, or one of the editions they dropped by $50, and
Huh.
then
For that game specifically, or
yeah,
across
for
the
that
board.
game specifically, I think it was in the news today, or maybe even yesterday. They dropped it by $50, and they also got rid of the early access. You know, the 3-day early access period.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
I just saw that Assassin's Creed Collector's Edition drops 50. The Collector's Edition cancel season pass and early access. Interesting. I wonder why.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, just like how upset people were with the concept of it, like is that a reason it will get
Yeah.
leaked?
Well, I think
Will
those
GTA
people.
6 get leaked?
Definitely.
We're gonna
Yeah.
do an episode
It
about
already got leaked.
those grifters, because I'm sick of them.
They're so annoying, man. Oh my god. And I like try not to interact with them, but it's just so
I
frustrating.
see it
to
all
see,
the
like,
time. And I'm like, I want to
I don't want that
put
on my
this out into
timeline.
the world, but then I'll see more of them, and I don't want to see
Because you're
more of them.
interacting with them, man.
I know, but they're just like, I troll, but I'm not like actively
super
hurting
frustrating.
people.
Like with Tomb Raider, like I hadn't seen the Tomb Raider show. I had seen it like come across, and I was like, I need to watch that, but I hadn't watched it yet. And then like my first actual interaction with the medium is when some grifter was like, "Why is she so masculine? This is
Oh, I
one
think
thing about our
Johnny.
women and other stuff."
Yeah.
I was like, "Come on, man."
I think we saw that from Johnny. Johnny's
They
the
were
problem.
like circling forearms. I'm like, what do you do? What?
I'm like, bro, it's an
there's
animated show. She's a Tomb Raider, bro. Like, yeah, she's gonna be a muscle.
I know
body.
she should
That's
be
not
jacked.
wrong.
If she's not jacked, like I'd be like, how is she doing this stuff?
Goodness, man.
Yeah, yeah. I think the
But I
new
have been
term.
watching the show. It's actually phenomenal, by the way.
Yeah, I haven't
Oh,
watched it
nice.
yet.
Great.
I like the new term tourist. I like calling them tourists because they clearly don't care about these games or
Tourist in the gaming
shows.
space.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like freaking. Because now they're going after Sonic. Like it's so ridiculous, man. I'm sick
What's
of.
wrong with Sonic? He's a hedgehog.
They they
What
have
I said.
there's like I don't know. I could get into it. Rogue, like
Oh yeah.
they
Oh
like
my
they
god.
like covered up her back or something, and now all the grifters are
And they took away her
annoyed
cleavage, too.
about censorship, and I don't know, like
We're getting
who
censored. We can't see our bat.
I can't be a gooner.
Yeah, right.
But yeah,
Oh my God. It's just-
I'm up for doing an episode on that because I'm sick of it, and when I put it out there, they're gonna cower. You know,
They're not. They're gonna we're gonna do a response video to it.
I'll get canceled.
I'm really curious as to what their paychecks look like, but I do feel like a lot of them are doing it for free. So
You think?
because it has to pay. Grifting has to pay.
Oh yeah,
but
no,
also,
that's the only reason they do it.
they're doing it for free. I don't know, man. Oh my
Yeah.
god. I just saw Assassin's Creed Mirage. Back to that randomly. 1,800 reviews, user reviews, 7.1. That's kind of impressive. I don't know. That's
I
a
thought
lot of people.
I thought people liked that one because it went back to the original roots of Assassin's Creed.
And it was short.
Yeah,
And
it wasn't. Yeah, it was short. Yeah, and it was like,
hours.
did they charge less? It was like $40 as opposed to 60, or I thought it was.
Maybe it's 50. Might have been 50.
But
50.
Ubisoft is just like trying to. I don't know, they're trying not to go out of existence right now.
Yeah, and that is a very real situation for them. So I think one of the things I don't like with leaks is when we see leaks of internal conversations and like we learn about these things these companies are having like internally like we may see something leaked from Ubisoft about them going out of business in like 6 months or not going out of business. I think they're being pressured to go back private. I
Oh yeah,
believe, by one of their investors.
They're being pressured to be bought out by the original guy. I don't know. He has a French name. I can't think of his name. And then I think Tencent maybe involved as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
Now,
there.
Tencent does make a good game. I mean, COD Mole is phenomenal. Gotta be honest with you. So I play it from time to time. It's pretty good. Um, but yeah, I mean, stuff like that. That kind of makes me feel weird. I like knowing the business side of the game industry, but stuff like that's kind of weird because it's like somebody may learn that they're like losing their job from a YouTuber, and that's kind of insane.
Yeah,
I,
yeah.
just a little bit. Yeah. But like stuff like, for instance, like Call of Duty leaks and stuff like I don't care about that. Like I may click on it, I may read it, but I don't care. Nothing like that really affects my life. Um, no leaks affect my life because I'm not a developer and I don't work on anything.
I guess to kind of close this out, what advice do you have for our listeners or anybody that comes across leaks? Like, is it a big deal? Like, should they worry about it? Could you be the leaker? Like, I don't know. Just any and all thoughts that you have on the topic.
So for me, I will never be the leaker. If
Yeah.
I'm giving you information, it is a culmination of information that's been verified through sources. It's not because leaks are typically rumors. They're not like
Mhm.
they're not always factual. They're like this
Mhm.
coulda, shoulda, woulda type stuff. So just know that that's for me. Two, it depends on who you are. Like for me, when Spider-Man was it Far From Home, the last one, I can't remember.
No way home. No way home.
No Way Home. No Way Home. That's what it is. When No Way Home came out, I actually muted the words. I did not want to see any spoilers. I knew that there was gonna be some people in there. I didn't want to know any of that stuff. Like when I saw Charlie Cox on Scream, I actually yelped in the theater. Don't care. Love that guy. Daredevil
Yeah.
was amazing.
Yeah.
So like if it's something you really care about, mute the words, stay off the internet, whatever. But if you don't care that much, like you don't have to be up in arms about it. Things are gonna leak. It's unfortunate, but it's gonna happen. Nintendo stuff, specifically with their games, their Switch One games, are gonna leak like crazy. I think part of the leak today about Legends EA is that it's actually been developed for the Switch One and not the Switch Two. That made me sad because I was like, I want a brand new Legends game for a brand new console, but I guess not. Stuff like that. Like that's not ruining my day. It's just like, now I know the information, but like also
Do
I'm still
you?
gonna go play Apex after this. Yeah, like do I know that?
It's
Yeah,
also
Yeah.
it's also not verified. Like
exactly.
they could change their plan because I mean for
They
Legends
could cross
EA,
across gen.
yeah, I would think that would be cross gen. I think the other one was like the next generation, so Gen 10.
Gen 10.
Is it Gen
Yeah.
10? Is going to be cross. I mean
Gen
they
10.
they can't leave the
Yeah.
user base in the dust. Like it's
It's too big. Pause.
most there are a lot of people that bought a Switch just for Pokemon, so there's no way they're just gonna cut them
Yeah.
off.
Now we can get like Pokemon Unite to run better on the Switch too. That'd be great because it's.
I can't believe that game's still going.
Oh, it's huge. I actually got a code from Pokemon Company for one of the new characters to download. But yeah, it's fun. I actually played it recently. Like I just got back into it, and I was like, I see why people like this. And then, but playing on my Switch, I was like, I want the higher frame rate. But then like playing on my phone, I'm like, I want the bigger screen. It's like I go back and forth trying to figure it out. I don't have my iPad anymore. So yeah.
I like Pokemon Unite. I spent $40 on a skin,
Good.
This-
Good for you.
keeping them
man.
in business, keeping Pokemon Company afloat. I mean, somebody has to do it.
I didn't want to buy this skin, but then I remember those developers have a
Yeah,
family.
they gotta feed their families, man. I got it. That's why I buy each version of the game too. I need both Diamond and
I want
Pearl,
the Steelbook, man.
Scarlet
I want that
and
Steelbook so bad.
yeah. Well, thanks for coming on. It was a good time. Let the people know where they can find you again.
You can find me at youtube.com/SaiyaRan Gaming, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, everywhere else SaiyaRan. And yeah,
You have a project that you're working on right now?
currently working on some more Sparking Zero content. When TCG Pocket drops, I am going to stream that and play a lot of that because I saw somebody like get some of the rarest cards without spending any money, which is the opposite for me. I want to spend like a bunch of money and see what I got. But maybe I'll try their way
You
first.
can't start with that. Well, no, just kidding. They need to feed their families. So
Yeah.
My baby is crying and walking in. You see me.
Oh
up there in
yeah.
the frame.
Oh yeah. Well, Johnny, where can people find you?
I'm Johnny Bo everywhere: Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and the Nintendo Powercast. Go check out my video about Lego Horizon. I want more views, interactions, because I want to do it again. And if they see that it didn't get a lot of views, they'll be like, I don't want to invite this guy again. So
And also, Johnny needs to feed his family.
yeah, I need to feed my family. Yeah.
You can find me on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. I guess Threads and Blue Sky if we're going there. I don't know. What is this? Nintendo Powercast, CheezyC64, CheezyC 64. Thank you again so much. Do you have any just closing thoughts? Any thought that comes to your mind to just close this out?
Everyone needs to go play Bayonetta Origins. It's a phenomenal game. You're missing out if you haven't played it. You just say
Yeah,
you
it's a
like
good game.
Metroidvanias, play that game.